Welcome to the show, this the group chat sound. Down the bayou where the light shine proud. Go to Meadow, the Rouge, Thibodaux fight. E.D. White, 6 war, bringing heat tonight. Bayou blue, Lockport, line it up strong. Middle school grind where the future belong. Whistle blows, crowd loud. Friday feel alive. We break it all down. Podcast on the...
Welcome back to the group chat podcast. We're going to get Jeremiah Gray on, talk about some things happening over at Thibodaux Middle School. We got our guest of honor, Mr. Brian Colley, in the house. We got to chat with him about his story. The reason why we waited for Damon, we didn't know how to put it on the computer screen. How did your girls play? Before we get G on, how did your girls play?
We did okay last night. We had a plan. We executed the plan for about 3 to 4 minutes. At the end of the day, and I'm not discrediting anybody, it's going to take a better team than that to beat us. It's going to take a better team than that to compete with us. We're deep. And we know how to play basketball, different styles of basketball, which is awesome to coach. And the girls responded really well. We had about an hour, 15 bus ride, and then we got in. Luckily, Coach Joe Riley said, hey, look, you need some more time. I said, please, just give us 10 minutes total. Warmed up, got on the floor. We already had in plan what we wanted to do. We had worked on it for a couple of days, and we scored quick. I think we scored within 3 seconds. And then it was a running time. I want to say within 3 minutes, we had double digits, and we kind of sat back and made sure everybody played, and made sure everybody got some time. And it was perfect for what it was. It was a running time game. We got to get some stuff on film. We got to see what we needed to improve on, which we did at practice 15 minutes ago. And it was fun. We had a freaking blast. And one of our deals this year, our slogan is going to be everything matters. So literally everything matters, right? Kids have bought into that. It's awesome to see. They play hard. We're in shape, or we're getting in shape, and it's gonna be a special season where everybody's putting in the work, and it's fun to be around. One of our things this year was I want your personality to shine, and not just mine. So trying to make them not be as much robotic and have some freaking fun.
Good. Love to hear it. And look, coaches that's a profession of misery. You guys are never happy about anything. What didn't you like? I mean, I know y'all wanted a shutout. What didn't you like? I know there was going to be some stuff you didn't like. What didn't you like?
So I feel like since I've been at Golden Med, I feel like we share the ball extremely well. Last night we had a couple plays where I thought we should have did it a little bit more. We didn't get in our sets quick enough for my liking. That's two of the things. Our defensive rotations lacked, so we drilled that probably a little too much today.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's going to be an issue anymore.
Who are some of the big is Jeremiah's team, the Thibodaux? That's going to be one of your big competition for Parish this year, probably.
I mean, obviously we haven't seen everybody, but from what social media is telling me, that Thibodaux is going to be the best team in the parish, and we got a chance to watch them last night, and they are solid. They got shooters, they got guards, they got bigs. You know, it's going to be an uphill climb, especially having to go there. And I respect what Coach G and what his staff does, or his players are phenomenal, and we're going to bring our A game. We're going to give them hell.
So you can play them more than one time.
Correct.
But that one parish game is going to count whenever that is.
Correct. Like, we'll probably meet up with them in a tournament. We didn't schedule them. We didn't have an opportunity to schedule each other. But, like, we play Raceland out of parish. We play Lockport out of parish. I'm trying to think who else. That might be it. I like close games. I don't like these long bus rides. Thibodaux's long for me.
Question, Damon, for middle school basketball. Are y'all limited on the amount of games that you can play?
Is there a cap? High school is a cap of 34.
I don't know. I'm not aware of one. We try to stick near 20, 22 games with the tournaments included.
Because, I mean, he's starting tomorrow.
Coach, I'll be honest with you. If we could have played, I would have started last week.
They're making it hard for y'all to even play?
So I'm starting to get schedules, starting to get schedules to be able to go scout opponents. And I'm looking at an opponent coming up. One of our first games, they're going to have 10 games played before we play one. Like, that's a competitive disadvantage.
Yeah. Jeremiah Gray is going to be joining us at some point, and we're going to be chatting with G. I want to talk with G about recruiting also, because I know he follows that stuff real closely. So we're going to get OG on the line, talk with some Thibodaux Middle School.
The G Sportz guy?
Sure is.
Correct. After South Louisiana played Thibodaux early in the season, he had put out a video that was, I don't know if it was just supposed to be a Thibodaux highlight video, but old Terrence kind of stole the show with his performance that game.
A couple times OT's done that. We would like to welcome Mr. Jeremiah Gray to the show. He is the boys and girls basketball coach at Thibodaux Middle School. G, what's good, man? How we doing, brother? Welcome to the group chat.
Man, I appreciate y'all for having me, man. Big fan of the show, man. Love the content.
Thank you, buddy. Look, it's an exciting time. We're back in the gym. Always the best time of the year, but we still got a little playoff football, too. Tell us how the boys and the girls are looking up there at Thibodaux, brother.
Very exciting times at Thibodaux Middle right now. For my girls, I got 5 that returned from last year that played a lot. So, it's an experienced group. I really was pleased with our showing last night against Raceland in the Jamboree. I think the biggest thing for us is just trying to find those girls off the bench that could come in and steal minutes for us. And so we working hard at practice. As far as the boys, a lot of versatility, a lot of depth. Probably one of the most talented teams I've ever coached since I've been coaching middle school. So I think the biggest thing right now is just getting into basketball shape for the boys and building that chemistry. And I think when we get to probably about game 6, game 7, we should be in basketball rhythm and playing at a high level.
G, talk to me about this, buddy. Last year, especially with the guys, I know y'all went play all over. Y'all played tournaments, outside of the area, had a lot of success. Talk to me about that want to expose those kids to a lot of different basketball scenes and going play all over the place. I think it's an awesome thing you guys do.
Yeah, I think for me, Casey, I've always wanted to challenge my teams, even going back when I coached at Oakland, because sometimes it's fool's goals when you play teams in your area and you win and you think that you're better than what you are. And so I always was the person that wanted to challenge my groups and go play teams in Lafayette, go play teams in Baton Rouge and New Orleans, because when you get to high school, you're going to be playing teams all over the state. And so just trying to prepare them for what's ahead. It's not really about the wins and losses for me. It's really just trying to challenge them mentally, challenge them physically, and put them in situations where they might fail. And I think that's my thought process, and it's worked out for us sometimes, and sometimes it hasn't. And so, and I think the more they play, we play 30-something games every year. Experience is the best teacher. So I just try to load up the schedule and get games, and so they can just keep getting that experience.
G, talk to me about this, buddy. One of the things that you guys have at Thibodaux is you got a lot of talent. And look, that's a great thing. It could be a blessing and it could be a curse. You got 2 schools that merged into one. And Coach Joe Riley told us, he came on this show and he said, hey, look, it was not the easiest transition because instead of 2 starting quarterbacks in the city of Thibodaux, now there's just 1. Instead of 8 starting receivers, now there's just 4. And look, talent is a blessing, but you got a lot of mouths to feed too. How do you make sure they're all bought in, knowing that, hey, if there were 2 schools, 10 kids would be starting. Now only 5 kids are starting. How do you make that work?
Man, Casey, I've been blessed to have some great mentors and some great friends in the coaching game, like a Bryce Brown at Edna Carr, a Jeff Jones at Madison Prep, who has had a lot of success in the high school ranks. And I've been around their program for years and just watching how they delegate and watching how they define roles and just seeing how they run a program. So I think that was kind of like my internship before I even started coaching, and putting the team first and being fair across the board is something I was going to always implement in my program. And once the kids understand that you're being fair and that you care about them outside of the sport, you usually get buy-in. And I think that's what we've been able to create at Thibodaux Middle. Just team first. Everybody going to eat. And, when you get your opportunity, make the most of it. If you don't make the most of your opportunity, when somebody else get that chance and they do, then that's just what that is. And so we have a period in our practices for football and basketball where it's called opportunity period. And we create healthy competition. And when you do things like that, the kids get the big picture, they understand, and we always try to look big picture. When you get to high school, the competition is going to be even better. You got to compete. If you're fortunate enough to get to college, you really going to have to compete. And so we just trying to create a healthy atmosphere when you talk about competition-wise and getting them to understand the big picture. And I think that's why it's been not an easy transition, but it's been easier for us because we've been able to implement those values into those kids.
Gee, let me ask you this, buddy. And that was a great answer. Let me ask you this. I talk to Damien about this often. He's also in the same situation as you, boys and girls coach. When there's a doubleheader, and let's say the girls win or lose a close, hard-fought game. Let's say you win by 1, and it's on the buzzer. How do you mentally reset in like 10 minutes to then realize, hey, gee, the score's 0-0 again, and it's a blank slate? That's got to be such an emotional roller coaster. Win a game by 1, lose a game by 1, and then before you could even do anything, but in a blink of an eye, you got to play a whole nother game with a whole nother group of kids that don't have those same emotions that you have. That's got to be such a huge challenge, bro.
Case, I'm such a competitor, and I love the sport so much. It gets my juices flowing. Whether it's a win or a loss, it is a roller coaster. But I can tell you what, man, Coach Joe Riley, he helps me with the girls, and he does an excellent job preparing them at practice and during shoot-around, just throughout the whole course of a week. So me switching from the girls to the boys, it's easier for me because I have somebody like that. And also, like, you know, our administration, Ms. Perk, she does a great job helping out. Anything I need for is logistical-wise, well, I could just go out there and just coach. You know, I have some good managers. You know, everybody got a role, just like on a team. And so when you got people in place that don't mind helping and know their role and putting the kids first, it's easy for me. I ain't gonna say it's easy. It's easier for me to go from a roller coaster ride with the girls if we just lost by 1, or if it was an overtime, or whatever the case may be, and then switch to the boys and be able to reset. So I think that's the keys to that, man. Just having people in place that's willing to help you and understand that, look, we just need you to just coach, and we can handle all the other small little things.
Coach, that's a great answer. And this is something that I'm starting to maybe struggle with a little bit. So I'm just using you as a thought partner. Do you have a feeling in the back of your mind, if I focused on one team, whether it be boys or girls, that I could do X amount more with them rather than having to divvy up my time? Does that ever enter the back of your mind?
For sure, Damien, for sure, man. Sometimes I go home and I feel a little guilty. Am I selling the girls short? Am I selling the boys short? That's going to always play in your mind, especially when you know you're trying to do it the right way. But at the end of the day, all we could do is give our best. And we human, Damien. We're human. You know, we're not going to be perfect. But I think those girls and those parents, they see how hard we work. They see that the buy-in. They see we don't cut no corners. And I'm willing to live with the results, man. You know, last year we lost the LCO up by 8 in the 4th. I'm talking about the girls right now. And, I mean, my girls fought to the end, bro. They fought to the end, and we just we couldn't finish. They made some big shots at the end, and, you know, it hurt it because we knew the hard work we put in. But I went home that night not feeling bad about it because I knew that me, Coach Joe Riley, with those girls, we really put our all into it. And sometimes you're on the other end of it sometimes.
Look, I'm going to ask you to be a reporter now. I know you do a lot of stuff there, you know, promoting the student athletes, and you go to LSU a lot and you're around the team a lot. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's going to be the next head football coach in Baton Rouge, brother?
Man, Nick Saban was in Baton Rouge for 2 days for sure. That's not nothing I heard. That's like something I know for sure. Nah, does that mean he's going to be the next head coach? I don't know. But I'll take that he was even in Baton Rouge listening. You know what I mean? I'll take it, you know. But I still think it's kind of a long shot that Saban will be the next head coach, because I think a lot of things got to fall in place. The game has changed so much since he retired with the NIL and the portal, and it just goes against everything he believes in when you talk about his process. He seems like he's having so much fun doing game day, and his wife is the person that you really got to convince. So I know they love Baton Rouge. If I had to rank it 1 to 10, with 10 being the greatest, if he'll be the next head coach, I'd probably give it a 7. If Saban ain't the head coach, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think it's gonna be somebody that we're not even thinking about. I really think that I know a lot of people saying Lane Kiffin and Joe Brady and people like that, but I really think it's gonna be somebody that we're not even thinking about, like today.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Coach, shifting a little bit to recruiting, because I know you got your ear to the ground on that. With the uncertainty in Baton Rouge on the head coaching spot, or I know we lost a couple signees and they may be looking elsewhere. What's the vibe right now with the guys that we have signed and maybe potential signees as well?
I can tell you this, man. Frank Wilson is doing a great job of keeping our main recruits for this 26 class in place. Like the Lamar Browns of the world, the Aiden Halls, the Richard Andersons. These are guys that you cannot lose from the state. And his relationships with not only the kids, but their parents, their high school coaches, their mentors, their trainers. Frank is keeping that going in the right direction. And so I think they'll be fine in that area. But I do think they need to figure out who the head coach is going to be by at least Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving, because that first signing day period coming up, and it's going to be about a 2-week window from Thanksgiving week to signing day. And that's a little gray area. So I think Frank going to be able to keep the bulk of the class intact. But I think at some point, they going to have to know who the next head coach is going to be sooner than later, because, you're going to have guys pushing for official visits and trying to get these guys on campus. And they're going to use that as they pitch to try to lure them away. But I really believe that Frank going to be able to hold it down until they can find who exactly going to be the head coach.
G, you do a lot to help market a lot of the student athletes and get them out and get their name out. And one of the things that's frustrating to a lot of people now is the fact that there's just so few spots for high school kids. I say this all the time. I think it's going to carry more weight when you say it because you know more about it than me. At this point in the year 2025, you just got to get your foot in the door anywhere, right? D1, D2, D3, JUCO, wherever. You just got to find a way to keep playing. Am I right in that?
Agreed. You got the kid. I'm having a brain fart. He played at Ascension Catholic last year, the running back. Played for Coach Lowell.
Chad Elsey.
Yep, Chad Elsey. Chad Elsey had Southeastern and which they offered him like a parcel or something like that. And then he got Kentucky State late. Well, he's at Kentucky State and he is killing it, which is I think they D2. And, I talked to the head coach, Coach Felton Huggins, who I went to Southeastern with, really, really good friends with. He's telling me that he don't expect Elsey to be back at Kentucky State next year. Why? Because he killed it his freshman year, and a lot of schools are going to be coming after him. And so that's just going to have to be the route, Casey. Kids are going to have to swallow their pride and not look down on these D2 schools, these NAIA schools. And if you're as good as you think you are, go there and kill it like Chad Elsey. And Tulane, La Tech, or Nichols will come calling after they see you perform your freshman year. Or it might take some kids 2 years. Who knows? Or go the JUCO route where you don't lose any years of eligibility. Zay Martin, who went to Ellender and transferred to U High, he's at Jones Junior College in Mississippi. He's having a solid year. Probably gonna come back one more year, and he's probably gonna end up signing to a D1 school. So I think parents and kids just got to be realistic and swallow their pride, and I think that's the route to go.
Very well said. Amen. I mean, the more people need to understand that, the more people need to be yelling and screaming it, because you just got to be willing to get your foot in the door.
For sure.
Look, let me ask you this. What's next for your basketball teams? Obviously had the little jamboree last night. What's next?
We play tomorrow, open up the regular season tomorrow versus Covenant Christian, girls and the boys. And then we go to a tournament in St. Charles Parish at Harry Hurst for my boys that I'm really excited about. We'll have a lot of competition in that tournament. And, man, we going to get it rolling, bro. We got over 30-something games scheduled, 6 tournaments for the boys and the girls. So we about to get this thing rolling, man. We're going to be nonstop from now all the way to February 5th.
I'm extremely jealous, Coach. I got to admit, I'm extremely jealous. So, Coach, for the folks that may not know you and first time listening, they're obviously going to be super interested in what you do and how you do it. Tell everybody how to find you.
Man, you can find me on Instagram _G Sports with a Z on the end. On Facebook, G Sports, G-Sports with a Z on the end. And on Twitter, same thing, G_Sports with a Z on the end.
Good job, brother. Hey, look, man, you know this. I tell it to you every time I see you. Keep up the good work. You're doing a great job, buddy. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you at the gym real soon, brother.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Yep, that's Jeremiah Gray with Thibodaux Middle School and also with G Sports, doing a good job. Loved his thoughts there. Brian, he said Nick Saban was in Baton Rouge for 2 days. G would know. G's very connected to that program. Is the old man listening?
I don't know. I mean, he might be involved as a...
It's like helping Verge out. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of him speaking about the head coach, he might be talking about someone else. I mean, he might be giving them ideas about who to hire.
Doesn't it just make – well, it doesn't make Coach Colin nervous. He wants them to hire James Franklin. But, Nick, doesn't it just make you nervous when you hear him say, well, if it's not Nick, it's going to be somebody we're not even thinking of. That makes me nervous.
Because I think that the guy that we might not be thinking of might be Kelvin Shepherd. I'd be fine with that. Like, they could be looking to revolutionize coaching pay, like how they pay the coaches. And that would be the route to go. If you're looking to do that, get somebody that's not like an already established guy, get a small time guy, put him on an incentive based contract, and hopefully he can flourish. And then he makes the big bucks. Or you could just keep throwing money at guys that were good at one place that might not be good when they come to your place. That is something that I was thinking about. A guy that's not necessarily in the top 5 or top 10 of that list might just come out of nowhere if they're looking to go with a prove-it contract, which I don't think LSU's is going with a prove-it contract, but that might be the future of college head coaching contracts.
Is Nick drinking too?
Not yet.
We're getting Jimbo Fisher. It's going to be bad.
Okay. Kind of like Brian Kelly did last year, right? I mean, they were mentioning names. Was his name mentioned?
Oh, when he was hired, no, he came out of the blue. It was Jimbo. It was Lincoln Riley. It was your boy at Michigan State who got fired. Oh, he's getting sued right now. I forget his name. Yeah, but Brian Kelly was not at all listed. Oh, your boy Napier was another one. But, yeah, Brian Kelly came out of the woodwork. He was not one of the – they didn't even – hey, he's going 11-1 at Notre Dame. Why would he leave? Well, he did.
Hey, look, we're getting back to Thibodaux real quick. Ton of talent there, but it takes a team to manage that. Last night, I don't know if I've ever walked into a Thibodaux area or Homa area gym that I felt more welcome. And I want to shout out Coach G.
Oh, G's a good dude.
Coach Riley,
I mean that.
Coach Perkle, their volleyball coach. She said, I listened to your podcast. She said, I'm about to see what you do. I said, look, I only know what I know. I can't make anything up. And then after the game, she said, oh, I see how competitive you are. I'm going to have to give it Coach G and come try to beat you. I said, well, you do what you got to do. I said, but you are appreciated. But now, shout out to Thibodaux's athletic staff. Tremendous job. They even got the pregame showdown. Turned the lights off. Got the announcer there. The announcer did a fantastic
my boy Tori.
job.
Yeah.
He said, Coach, can you come talk to me for a second? I said, yeah, Bear, what you got? He said, I just want to make sure all these names, I'm pronouncing them right. I said, let's go. We got it. But a tremendous job last night. Very appreciative of them inviting Golden Meadow to play. And if you got an invite, we come. We're going to be there later for our tournament we always go to. And then we're going to be there for the Paris matchup as well. Looking forward to that.
Let's pull up the sponsors. Let's thank the sponsors. Buzz Off Mosquito Control, Down South Cards and Bats, Lafouche Concert and Events Club, DTB Clothing, Martin's AC and Electric, Neil Small Engine, Riley John's Blue Boot Foundation, Performance Automotive and Accessories. If you need a lawyer, you better call Baton. Precision Agri Spray. We thank them so much. They are our Mount Rushmore sponsor. That's all for us today. Love you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Good night, everybody. Hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the day.
And as always, God bless America and go Tarps.
Welcome to the show. This the group chat sound. Down the bayou where the light shine proud. Go to Meadow to Roast. Thibodaux fight. Edie White 6 War. Bringing heat tonight. Bayou Blue Lockport. Line it up strong. Middle school grind where the future belong. Whistle blows, crowd loud. Friday feel alive.